Hi, I'm W.M. Akers, and I'm here to tell you about my new novel, Pocketful of Stars, a sci-fi mystery about a nightclub magician framed for a triple murder and forced to flee across the cosmos in order to clear his name. It's a really wild book. It's a funny book. It's something I've been working on for a long time, but it's something that I've been thinking about for even longer. Its roots in my consciousness go back to when I was a kid. I was obsessed with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and David Copperfield, the magician, not the Dickens novel. And I was just really into the idea of space being fun. I have, you've seen so many sci-fi stories, superhero stories, things like that, that portray space as like this very sort of like grim, horrifying place. And I think it can be that, but I really love the idea of any kind of sci-fi universe where people are out in the cosmos and as best they can, they're surviving and they're laughing and they're having a good time. And sometimes at night they want to go see a magic show. It turned into what I think is one of the most exciting books I've ever written. It's certainly one of the most heartfelt. In places it's probably the sexiest, because this is an adventure mystery story, but with like a really intense queer love story running through it. And I'm just like really, really excited about it, which is why I am talking to you about this right now. And I'm particularly excited about it because the way that I've chosen to publish Pocketful of Stars, which is not a traditional publishing approach. Instead, I'm going to serialize it, which I'm just so psyched about because I've always wanted to write a serialized novel. It kind of forces you to savor something, the way that when you're reading comic books, like when you get the new comic book, like you want to sit down with it, you read it slowly, you read it carefully. When you're done with it, you read it again because you're so excited about it. You're not going to get any more of it for a little while. And I think that built-in suspense can really heighten your appreciation for something. So you can read this every 2 weeks in your email if you subscribe to Strange Pulp. If you're impatient like I am, you can also just go ahead and buy it right now. You can read it in EPUB or in PDF. It looks fantastic. I'm extremely proud of it. Or if you back me on Patreon, $2 a month, hey, then you get this book for free plus all the Deadball books. Like everything I write goes on there pretty much, and is waiting for you right now. I woke in a police wagon, mag clamped to the ceiling, wondering where the hell my evening had gone. The Vegas PD had wiped my memory of the arrest, but there was blood on my suit and in my mouth and splattered across the tiles below my aching head, so I figured I hadn't gone quietly. Good. I considered panicking. Scream, sob, piss my pants. But what would be the point? The Vegas cops were unlikely to release me just for being urine-soaked and sad. Weakness would only invite a beating. I do not like beatings. So I smiled. It's what I do when I'm terrified, and tried to figure out what I'd been arrested for. My first thought was drunk driving, but then I remembered that I neither drink nor drive. I strained my neck for a view through the back of the cargo area and caught a glimpse of the swirling neon of Vegas's mid-range. We were climbing fast. I was twisting my wrists, testing them against the mag clamps, when the driver's voice spat through the speaker beside my head, tinny and smug and absolutely hell on my ears. You can't just go around killing people. I spat another mouthful of blood on the floor. Tried to, anyway. My mouth had gone abruptly dry. Even the blood was gone. I don't kill people. Sure you do. Says right here. You're a magician, aren't you? And you were arrested for the murder of Elwood Labs. I've never heard of Elwood Labs. Then why'd you kill him? I always figured if you're going to do a murder, it might as well be somebody you know. Anyway, he wasn't the only one you did. I was silent for a moment. I breathed. It didn't help. How many people does it say I killed? My voice had gone shrill. The panic was rising. I tried to hold it back. If it got on top of me, I was fully doomed. 2. 3 if you count the cabbie, which, I don't know. The judicial unit will decide. It's late, so everything's powered down, but they should have you in after breakfast. They'll talk you through everything, make you fully aware of your rights, have you executed by noon. Noon? In a case this simple, you'd think they'd be able to get it done faster, but justice can't be rushed. I squirmed. The mag clamp squeezed tighter. My hands were turning pink. Soon I wouldn't be able to move them at all. You want to do me a favor? Asked the driver. No. Won't take a second. Just speak in a nice, clear voice. You can do that for me, right? And say, my name is Gregor Radzikowski. Anger surged, fast enough that for a moment, the panic fell away. That was a good thing. Anger I could use. "Don't call me that," I snapped. "Ain't it your name? Says right here, you've got no right to it. You want to ask for something? Call me by my stage name. Isn't that on your form?" Papers shuffled. Another car whipped past us, so close I could feel the swell of its displacement pocket through the wall. The wagon lurched, the driver cursed, and for a delicious moment I thought we were about to crash. The wagon would spin out of control and smash into the nearest plaza. The mag clamps would fail, the door would buckle, and I'd be able to slip away in the chaos. No such luck. The driver got us back on track and said in a sweaty voice, "Sorry about that. I found it, the stage name." "Well done. So what I need from you is, in a nice clear voice, you just say, 'My name is Galaxy Greg and I killed those people.'" "But I didn't kill them." "So what? Say it anyway, just for me." "Why?" "I get a quarterly bonus if I can get 10 felony suspects to confess before we land at the precinct. So far I'm at a 0. It'd be a big help." Fear had crept into her voice. Perhaps it had always been there. Perhaps the narrowly avoided mid-air collision had simply brought it to the surface. It was the kind of thing I could have used if I weren't still strapped to the goddamn roof. "My name is Galaxy Greg," I said, "and I didn't do anything wrong." "If you didn't kill anybody, what are you doing in the back of my wagon?" "I don't remember." She laughed. It sounded cruel, but she enjoyed it so much that she laughed again. "You want to see? Gregor, you dipshit, do you want to see?" She popped in a tape. The floor flickered into the grainy black and white of SEC TV. 2 figures were visible, a big one and a little one, together on the cracked remains of an ancient traffic island. The big one had a pistol pressed against the little guy's face, but the little guy showed no fear. He simply smacked the gun away, then grabbed the erstwhile gunman by the throat and dragged him into the air. They flew fast. In a moment, they were right in front of the camera, close enough that I could see the gunman squirming and sweating and screaming words that could not be heard. Close enough that I recognized the other person, the person who was flying, as me. Galaxy Greg. The streetlight flickered off my bald dome. The stars danced on my suit. It was me, flying, holding a stranger by the throat, laughing, and letting go. The gunman looked up at me. He'd given up on screaming. His features were slack. There was a pathetic, childish hope in his eyes, as if he thought there was some chance that the person who dropped him wouldn't really let him fall. But he fell, and he died. "Believe it now?" said the driver. I probably should have, because in that moment before he dropped, I saw Elwood Labs' beady eyes, his lumpy jaw, his bowl cut. I knew who he was, and I understood why I'd have wanted him to die. I even smelled peppermint. All of it was perfectly clear except for one small thing. I can't fly. Nobody can fly. Except Kay. So that's chapter 1. You want to find out what happens next? Subscribe, buy the book. I swear to God, it's a beautiful story. It will make your inbox a more interesting place.